Okay, hello class. In this short video, I'll be guiding you how to do this homework 2 with you as you are watching this at home on HPL. Okay, but if you at any point think you are speaking too fast, feel free to pause, rewind. Feel free to PM me if you have questions. Okay, if you think I'm going too slow, feel free to fast forward. All right. But at the end of the day, I want to see your completed work. I'll collect it, okay, when I see you the next lesson. Okay, so this is homework 2. Please make sure you have the correct work with you. Okay, so homework 2. Okay, please make sure it is homework 2. Okay, for homework 2, okay, we are going to focus on healthcare in Sweden. So previously we learned about USA. We also kind of learned about Singapore already. So now we are going to practice understanding about Sweden's healthcare, and whether it has what kind of problems and challenges that it face, and how are they similar or different from the USA. All right. So we're going to do a source-based question. Okay, where you have the use of sources. Okay, and these sources the skill will be tested. Okay, in your coming WA1. So let's like I said, let's practice the exam hacks that I've taught you. Okay, and I'm going to go through step by step. So study source A, what is the message of the cartoon? This one I know is a kind of an inference question. Okay, study source B and C, so this should give you a hint that it's a comparison. And this one is a infer message kind of question. All right, so do you think the author in source B will agree with the authors in source C? So basically, if they agree, it is a similarity. If they disagree, okay, it is a difference. So I think I told some of you already, the comparison question, sometimes they would phrase it as how similar are source B and C, how different are source B and C. It's very obvious. Sometimes they may change the phrasing a bit. And your job is to identify that actually is really just another way of asking a comparison question. All right, so before I even go through the sources with you, let's practice the exam hack. Exam hack number 1. Okay, even before the source, look at this thing called the issue. All right, very important because it will help you to focus your answers later on. So what are the strengths and weaknesses of the Swedish healthcare system? So if we ask you what, remember I asked you to do a kind of a black and white perspective kind of thing, right? What are the two possible perspectives here? Okay, so in this case, you can say Swedish healthcare system is very strong, very good. Or maybe the Swedish healthcare system, okay, obviously is very weak. So in this case, I kind of give you the two possible hints with it. So we know that in source A, B, and C, the sources will either say the Swedish healthcare system is very good, very strong, or they'll say the Swedish healthcare system is very weak, very bad, or maybe a mix of both. Okay, but remember to have this both perspective when you read the source, so that later on you know what to look out for. So even just stopping here, the Swedish healthcare system could be strong or it could be weak. If I look at question 1, what is the message? Okay, without even looking at the source, I can start to guess. Maybe there are two possible answers. The Swedish healthcare system is strong because why? Or the Swedish healthcare system is weak because why? So maybe one of the messages will be this. Okay, the Swedish healthcare system is very good in what way or very weak in what way. So you see the exam hack, using the issue question here is very useful in starting to narrow down the possible answers. Same thing, author in source B, author in source C. So what can they be similar in? Let me just use a different color. Maybe they are similar in saying both strong, or maybe both sources will criticize the Swedish healthcare system for being weak. Okay, the healthcare system is very bad. Or, okay, maybe they are similar. Okay, maybe different because one says strong and one say weak. Okay, maybe source B says strong, source C says weak, or the reverse, source C says strong, source B says weak. So see, using the issue question, I can't stress this enough. I start to come out with the very easy possible answers already. Okay, so for example, for part B, one of the answers might be, author with source B will agree with author with source C in saying that the Swedish healthcare system is very strong. Author in source B and C agree in saying that the healthcare system is very weak. Or author in source B and author in source C disagree over whether the healthcare system in Sweden is strong. One says strong, one says weak. So you see, okay, this is how I narrow down the possible answers. Of course, which is the case, we'll read the source to find out. All right. So let's go next to the background very quickly. Okay, so this background, okay, as I said before in case you do not understand sources, the background will give you some maybe information to help you understand the sources. So just now I identified that the healthcare system can be weak or strong in Sweden. So when I look through this background, I just want to find some points that talk about strong, some points that talk about weak. So let's see whether you can find some of the points. Sweden has one of the best healthcare system. Okay, very strong. Treatment in Sweden. Okay, so let's highlight. Strong, we use red color. Best in the world. Okay, they have access to healthcare. Everyone can get healthcare, widely available. Okay, you pay a very small fee, so very good stuff. But are there some weaknesses with the healthcare system? The central government dictates healthcare, but the system is decentralized, meaning that county councils and municipal governments mean the city government, are responsible for providing services. Okay, we haven't found the weakness yet. The majority of the costs to run the system are paid for by the county council and municipal taxes, with contributions from the national government to cover specialist treatment, prescriptions, pregnancy and childbirth, and rehabilitation. Now we start to find some of the weakness. However, system is not perfect. Why not perfect? One of the biggest challenge is providing equal access to all patients, consistent quality. There's the lack of manpower. So they are saying that even though Sweden's healthcare is very cheap, there are still people who cannot access the patients like the rest of the access healthcare like the rest of the country. The quality of the healthcare may be not consistent. Maybe some clinics are better than others, some hospitals are better than others, and there are not enough people working as healthcare professionals, not enough doctors, not enough nurses, and so on. Okay, so we start to find out some of the good points and some of the bad points of Sweden healthcare. And some of these points may appear again in the source. So it's always very helpful to read the background to just start to find some of the common points that will be mentioned in the sources. Okay, so let's look at source A now. Source A is asking what is the message of the cartoon, right? So remember, as we are reading, we want to see whether it is a strong or maybe a weak healthcare system. All right, so I won't tell you which is which, but I'll briefly unpack the source for you. Okay, but if you want to try it on your own, feel free to stop the video here and answer the question. Okay, so a cartoon published about Swedish healthcare system. So we see two people here. One, it says, good news, feel a hospital bed just opened up. Things are looking up, Louis. You are next in line for radiation therapy. You know that heart surgery you're looking for? Now, it might not be very clear to you, but what is this place? Why is this person holding a flower and what are these things on the ground? Okay, so in case you cannot see clearly, this is actually a cemetery. Okay, so I want you to wonder, why are these people talking to the supposed dead person in the cemetery, telling them that, oh, you have a hospital bed now. Oh, you can now get your radiation therapy. You can now get your heart surgery. What message is it trying to say about Swedish healthcare system? Is it strong? Is it weak? What's the reason why it's strong? What's the reason why it's weak? So when you give me your message, okay, whether it's strong or weak, okay, strong, weak, because why? So which one is the case? Give me evidence, okay? Explain your evidence. So your one paragraph answer should have these three parts now, okay? So I'll let you figure out which is which. I think it's quite obvious. I don't want to just tell you the answer because it's quite straightforward. So let's look at source B and C now. It is the comparison question. So your job is to find out whether they agree or disagree. What do they agree and disagree about? And just to recap, just now I already said, okay, we already know we want to look for, okay, do they say the healthcare system is strong or weak? So let's look at the source now and start finding our clues. Source B, it's from a Swedish newspaper in 2017. Okay, let's read. The healthcare system is often used as a model. Used as a model. Does this tell you it is strong or weak? It has gone through many changes led by the health authorities. The country spent 9% of government funding on healthcare, which is almost half of the US healthcare budget. But achieve high life expectancy, low infant mortality rate. I mean, most babies they survive the babyhood, childhood. Healthcare services are available for all. Waiting times such as hip replacement cannot exceed, so people don't have to wait more than 90 days. Okay, you get proper treatment within 90 days. If they exceed the time, government will pay your bill totally, maybe a bit like I think McDonald's delivery here or Pizza Hut delivery. So with all these various evidence I just marked up, right on the side, does this show that it is strong or a weak healthcare system? Okay, I think it's quite obvious. And let's look at source C now. Same thing, we want to figure out whether it's a strong or weak healthcare system. Okay, so it's an online commentary. Not even children are spared in this crisis. From the get-go, I can already tell what is this author's point of view already about the Swedish healthcare system, whether it's strong or weak. Whether it is strong or weak. Okay. At Karolinska Hospital, a third of the beds are empty. Beds are empty. What does it tell you? Why in down the operations have been cancelled? Why? There's a shortage of nurses. Beds are unused. Okay. So much money has been allocated, but the money is being misused. The government wants people to come to polyclinics for health check. In other words, completely healthy people use up the resources. What does that mean? And they ask, are children dying unnecessarily? So from these various points, okay, some of them will be used as your evidence. Is it showing that Sweden's capacity is strong or weak? So just now I say the healthcare system could be strong or weak for source C. For source B, it can be strong or weak also. So is it a similarity, a difference? Or in the words of the question, do they agree or do they disagree with each other? So how will you phrase the comparison question? So I'll give you some helping words to start off. Okay, so you can say maybe source B and source C. Okay, next up, I want you to guess, is it agree or disagree? Maybe you fill in the blank. Over the quality of the Swedish healthcare system. I want you to, after that, say, okay, does it show both strong, or is it both shows it's weak? Or does it show one strong, one weak, which is which? Okay, one strong, one weak. Okay, so which is the case? Just add on a bit more. Okay, which one is it? Okay, after that, give me your evidence. Okay, my evidence from source B is, so you give me your evidence. This means, so explain what the source B means, the evidence. And then after that, give your evidence from source C also. The evidence, this means what? Okay. So the format is quite straightforward. What is your criteria? Give evidence, explain, evidence, explain. Okay. So this will be, I hope you at least attempt this one paragraph. if you have found a agree already, you can encourage you to try to find a point which they disagree. If the first part you think they are disagree already, I want to encourage you to find a point in which they agree on. All right. So, all right. Feel free to once again try and check in with me if you are not sure. You want to get some more guide from me. Otherwise, okay, I will collect your work the next lesson. Okay, which is this Thursday. All right. Enjoy the rest of the HBL. Bye bye.